How is he only a 90 overall? You have Richard Sherman, some old man who can't run for jack.
You need to put respect on Zach Ertz's name and a bunch of other tight ends that should be higher than Rob Gronkowski.
The man hasn't played since 2018. He's not going to be the NL MVP.
And then he goes onto an Instagram live where he seems to have been under the influence, smoking a cigar.
I don't think MVP is indicative of the best player in the league. Welcome back to Go Chat. We're so excited to have you all back. Thank you all for the support on our last episode. It's killing it right now, so we all like to thank you. And, you know, if you watched the last video and you're watching this one and you are not subscribed, what the heck are you doing? Click that subscribe button. Ding, ding, ding. Hit that bell. Let's go. Anyways, let's hop right into the go of the number 26. We are over the quarter of a century mark for the number of episodes in Go Chat, so we are very excited about that too. But anyways, go to number 26. Matt, who do you got?
You know, this was a hard one. This was one I had to research. You know, some aren't ones I have to research. But I'm going to go with Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was a great Steelers cornerback, one of the better cornerbacks, one of the better defensive backs we've ever seen in the history of the NFL. He's a Hall of Famer, 11-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro, 1-time Super Bowl champ, and an AP Defensive Player of the Year in 1993. Also, he is first in interception return touchdowns with 12. 32 fumble recoveries, also first for defensive players. You know, he's a great player. He's been a great player. He was a great player for the Steelers, and then when he moved on to the Ravens, winning a Super Bowl there. So I got to go with Rod Woodson.
Great choice. Tommy, who you got?
Well, obviously it's got to be a former Yankee. He's a former Red Sox as well. Wade Boggs, one of the best leadoff hitters of all time. He played 18 seasons and he had 3,000 hits, which is pretty impressive because there's a lot of players that play 20 years and obviously don't get to 3,000 hits. So he was incredible. He led off with the Red Sox and Yankees. He won 2 Gold Gloves over at third base. He was great there. 8-time Silver Slugger winner. 5-time, he won 5 batting titles, which is pretty incredible as well. 12-time All-Star. He won a World Series with the 96 Yankees, which, you know, he has the iconic image of riding the horse after that one, so that was pretty great. And he wasn't a home run hitter, but his 3,000th hit was a home run, which is pretty impressive. He was the first player to do that, and the other 2 also played for the Yankees, Jeter and Aaron. But Wade Boggs is the best, so have to go with him for the go to number 26.
Another good pick, Tommy. Connor, who are you going to agree with here? Are you going to go off the grid?
Is Le'Veon Bell not the pick here?
Not after his last season.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm going to agree with Tommy here and go Wade Boggs. I mean, he was a great baseball player. He was definitely great on the hot corner with the Gold Gloves. He had a 328 overall batting average, which we don't see a lot. I mean, he had less than 150 home runs, but he hit for contact with the over 300 batting average. His WAR, wins above replacement, is over 90. So he was a really good player. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2005, I think it was. So he enjoyed some good time with Boston. It's a good time with New York. You don't see that a lot in players switching from rival to rival, but Wade Boggs is definitely the pick here for 26.
All right, Connor. Unfortunately, I have to disagree with you and Tommy right here. I got to agree with Matt. Rod Woodson is definitely the pick here. This guy is third in all-time in the all-time NFL interceptions list. I mean, this guy, one of the best defensive backs of all time. People rarely bring up his name. He has 71 picks in his whole career. Not only that, he had the versatility to switch between cornerback and safety as he played cornerback through probably the first 3/4 of his career. Then he finished his career as a safety. Not only that, but he was also a part of that 2001 Baltimore Ravens defense. 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense, which was one of the most dominant defenses we have ever seen. So the combination of him being such a good player individually, then him helping form one of the best defenses of all time has to make him go to the number 26.
Tommy, you can put DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, well, that's a great honorable mention. Obviously, the Yankees leadoff hitter. He's the man.
I thought you just said Wade Boggs was the man.
Well, Wade is the man, but DJ's the man as well. I mean, it's hard to find a better. Well, I said that Wade Boggs was the best leadoff hitter of all time, but in today's game, it's harder to find, a better leadoff hitter than DJ LeMahieu. And he hits
Brandon
for
Nimmo? Come on.
What?
Brandon Nimmo.
Oh no! Oh my gosh! The Mets
You
would
know who
love
else is the
him.
man? You know who else is the man? Is Mike Trout. So if the poll is still up on the Instagram page, go
Oh
vote
my
for Mike Trout.
God.
Go
I
right.
don't know why you would vote for Mike Trout over Luka Doncic, but whatever you want. Whatever you
What
want.
about Nick Castellanos? I mean,
Tommy, you already voted for Mike Trout. Why are you even promoting Castellanos if you're voting for Mike Trout?
At the time that we're filming this right now,
4-4.
Luka Doncic has 3 votes. Mike Trout has 3 votes. Nick Castellanos has 3 votes, and Dak Prescott.
Oh, Mike Trout has 2 because we got to take one off Tommy, right?
yeah,
Another vote came in.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Dak Prescott.
I'm looking at it right now. It's 4 for Mike Trout, 4 for Castellanos, and 4 for Doncic, and a big donut for Dak Prescott.
Oh, it's 4-4, me and Tommy, and then you.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 3 because Tommy doesn't follow the rules and he just votes.
Oh no! I counted for Tommy voting, so 4-4-4.
And
Mike
Dak
Trout technically has 5 votes now, but Tommy voted for Mike Trout for some reason. Tommy,
I'm talking about this.
0.
well,
Okay, we're
feel
getting
like-
sidetracked.
I won't vote next time, but I don't know. I was trying to be nice. Vote for Connor.
I feel like we're going to get very sidetracked here.
we just did. Anyways, I think that wraps up a good conversation. Let's hop right into our next topic.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We just had a good conversation there about number 26 in sports. We're now going to move on to the hitting topics in the MLB. Hitting, kind of a phrase there, considering what happened there with the Astros and the Athletics. We had Ramon Laureano was hit twice in the same game by the Astros pitching staff, and then as he was walking down to first base, a bench coach in the Astros dugout was sitting there and talking to Laureano and supposedly saying some racial slurs and all that stuff, and there's no spot for that. And then was telling Laureano to go and fight him. So then Laureano, obviously offended by what the coach was saying, ran over, and then there was a huge altercation, which doesn't need to happen in baseball. Rob Manfred has already said there cannot be fights in baseball. We have no tolerance for it. There's no need for it. That's too many players, too many coaches in close contact. And it was egged on by a Houston coach. He was suspended for 20 games, and Laureano got 5. What do you guys think about this situation here in the handouts that were dealt? Mike, I'll start with you.
At first, I was like 20 games for the coach. Like I get that he was like talking smack or whatever to Laureano, but once the news came out about the racial slurs, and if that's true, I mean I totally understand. Plus, he instigated like a huge brawl, which as of we know right now, did not result in a big breakout of coronavirus. So I don't know what the hitting coach was doing. Like, I mean, seriously, what are you getting out of talking smack to Laureano? He already got pegged twice. Like, what more do you want from that situation? Like, what's the whole point? And then from Laureano's perspective, I feel like you just gotta, I feel like it's just like another fan in the stands. You just gotta, ignore him and whatnot. Just keep to yourself. I don't think running at the whole Houston bench. I mean, he was ready to take on that whole team. You rewatch the video. He had like there's blood coursing through his veins, very intense. But I thought the suspensions were valid. I thought they were just. So yeah, I thought it was fair for the MLB to dish out that punishment.
Matt?
Yeah, I think it was a fair punishment, especially if he was doing the racial slurs thing. That's awful. I mean, maybe even more than 20, maybe even the whole season, depending what he said. But I don't know what he said. I don't think anyone really truly knows what he said. Maybe the A's player, but I don't know why he charged the dugout either. Like Mike said, I think that was kind of a little childish in his, if I was in his spot. But it's 5 games. I don't know, 5 games for him. 5 games, right? Yeah, I don't know. But, I think they handled this a little better than other things in the past. So
Our baseball guy up here, Tommy. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Matt and Mike. I think that I think the suspensions are just, because they don't want players doing it. They've laid it out in the protocol that you're not allowed to have brawls this season because of the obvious. You don't want to spread the virus. And I think that they did do the right thing here, um, just because with the coach Clintron, that's unacceptable to be yelling racial slurs, and obviously for anybody it is, but for a coach, they're supposed to be. I think Joel Sherman said the other day, like the adults in the room, like they're all supposed to know that these things can't be happening because he instigated the fight. He was telling them to come over to the brawl or come over to the bench, and then the brawl happened right after that. And I agree with you, Laureano. We don't know what was said, so I understand that he was upset, and it is understandable that tempers do flare, but like you guys said, it that's a tough situation. Probably shouldn't be running over there, but in 5 games, I it is it's a good amount, but at the same time, that is kind of what started the brawl, him running over there. So I think that's part of the reason why he got more, because if he didn't run over, the benches wouldn't have cleared, and then there wouldn't be increased risk of the virus spreading through that. But it's a difficult situation, but hopefully both teams can move past it and get back to baseball here.
Now, this is the second altercation we've had with Houston throughout this series, obviously with the Joe Kelly suspension with the Dodgers. Do we see more stuff happening with the Astros down the line as we continue through the season? Or do we think this is the end of the line where people are done with the Astros?
People are 100% not done with the Astros. This is gonna be a stain to the Astros legacy until Bregman's off the team, until Correa's off the team, until Springer's off the team, until Verlander's off the team, until every one of those players are off the team. So people are going to keep coming after them because especially a lot of those diehard MLB fans, the really old school ones, they're really upset at what the Astros did and how they took advantage of the situation. So I think the hatred and punishment against the Astros won't stop coming until the players are off the team.
Tommy, you have made it very clear on this podcast that you do not like the Houston Astros.
I like the Houston Astros.
What do you think about this?
Well, I think for this year it might be over just because, they're doing divisional play. So they've seen pretty much all the teams that they're gonna, and I think, if they were gonna do something, they'd do it by now. But I do think that we will see this in the future. I mean, who was it? Mike Clevenger saying that he was going to throw at them when he played them. So that hasn't happened yet on the schedule. Cleveland against Houston. We'll see that next year, hopefully, if everything's back to normal. I think overall we're not done with this situation, but maybe this year because, the teams have seen the Astros once. It wouldn't make too much sense to – if they've already done it, you're not going to do it again because you're going to get an even bigger suspension. And but no, and overall, I don't think we're done, but maybe this year.
Tommy, when the Yankees and the Astros are playing next year, will you want to see the Yankees have any retaliation, or do you want them just to play baseball?
Just to play baseball. I don't want to brawl at all because I feel like, we get players suspended. If not hurt. I think anytime there's a brawl, you worry about injuries when punches are thrown. And I just don't think it's a good look for us I shouldn't say us. I'm not part of the team, but for the Yankees to be doing it because, although the punishment wasn't what people would like, they did get their punishment. And it happened 3 years ago, And I understand that it's terrible that they cost the Yankees a chance at the World Series, but, if you're going to be professionals, you got to move past. And no, I don't want to see a brawl.
Matt, what's your whole take on this? Do you think this situation's done?
No shot. It's done. I think this is going to be something that's going to stick with them for a while. Stick with them for a while now.
Well, then let's kind of move on because this fight here could have led to a coronavirus outbreak. Now let's talk about a team that's still involved in the coronavirus outbreak. We're a quarter way or a fourth of the way through the season here, and the St. Louis Cardinals have played 5 games. They haven't played since the end of July. They've had 4 series canceled and another series possibly canceled this upcoming weekend. Do we see the MLB starting to make a rule where they're just going to start forfeiting? There's not enough time for them to make up these games. So what do we see the MLB doing here?
I honestly have no clue. I don't think that they're going to force them to forfeit games. I think they might extend the season, maybe like a couple days for the Cardinals to make up all their games. But, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the Cardinals, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure this has lasted much longer than the Marlins outbreak. And the Marlins outbreak was horrible. They had like 20-plus people on the COVID list at one point. And I think with the Cardinals, it's just more of a steady stream of players keep continuously getting tested positive. So I don't know what they're doing wrong in St. Louis, but they need to fix it soon.
Yeah. Tommy?
Yeah, well, I agree with you, Mike. They got to fix it soon. And I think it's July 29th, the last time they played a game. And, yeah, it's been a long time. And what I'm hearing is that they're not going to get in 60 games. It's just not going to work out. And what they're going to do is they're going to go by winning percentage. I think they haven't made that official yet. But they're going to try to get the Cardinals to play as many games as possible. A lot of doubleheaders, but, they'd have to be playing so many doubleheaders. It would be crazy if they were to get in 60. So, you still have to give the team a little bit of a break. So I think their hope is to get in 50 plus, but not quite 60. But yeah, you said it, Mike. They got to get under control soon. And I think their goal is to play Friday.
Matt?
I think they need stricter rules, stricter leadership over there. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what the whole problem is, like if they're not following protocol or they're breaking something or, whatever they're doing. But I think that in this case, you're going to definitely need stricter rules if you want to see the MLB go on. Like I honestly, I don't think the MLB, I don't know if they're going to finish their season. If they have another outbreak, another team has an outbreak, or a couple more teams have an outbreak, maybe even at the same time, it's not looking good for the MLB, but, there's always hope. I think that they could definitely get it under control and get the season finished, but it's all in the future. We don't know. Just need to get stricter rules, which I heard they're gonna do stricter rules. Is that right?
They're gonna try. I mean, we talk about stricter rules. 2 Cleveland Indians pitchers
Yeah.
put out because Zach Plesac and Mike Clevenger decided to go out on the town.
Yeah, the guy's on my fantasy team. Man.
Look, don't be complaining. I have Jack Flaherty, my number 1 pitcher. He hasn't pitched since July 29th. He killed it in his first start. I was so excited for him this season. And just
the stricter rules have to be put in place. I mean, we have to start taking some salary away from these players if they continue going out on the town. If it really doesn't mean that much to them.
I mean, come on, man. These guys were like pleading, or like they were like asking for the MLB season to happen, and then once it happens, they break protocol, and then this stuff happens. I mean, come on, guys. If you want to play, if you don't want to play, then you don't have to play. Like, no one's gonna force you to. But come on, if you want to play, if you really want to go out there every day and play the game you love, play your living. That's literally your job. Then you got to be a little more mature than what they're doing.
Do you have any last-minute comments on the MLB before we move into a Stanley Cup Playoffs prediction? Or it's not prediction, but just a segment? All right, well then we're going to be right back with Talk on the Ice.
welcome back to Go Chat. Let's swing right into our hockey segment. We're going to go through each of our bracket. If you didn't see, we made our own little bracket challenge. You guys all had the chance to join. Hopefully some of you did. If you didn't, there's always a next time. But anyways, let's first start off with an upset that we could possibly be seeing in this tournament. Matt, who you got?
Falling off my bracket, I only have one upset in the first round. That's the Islanders over the Capitals. I've talked about the Islanders last week. I bought the Islanders. Sorry, not sold. Selling would be the opposite. But I bought the Islanders. I think that they possibly can beat the Capitals. I think that last year what we saw, it was different. Obviously, last year there was 4 1 seeds. It was 1 through 4. 4 different parts, but this year it's 1 through 8. And last year we actually saw all the 1 seeds get knocked off in the first round, but I don't see that happening this time around. I will go off my bracket and I will say that an upset that I like is I don't think it's going to happen, but I like the Arizona Coyotes. If they weren't playing Colorado, I think that they possibly could have upset a team, but I just think Colorado's too good for that. But Darcy Kemper as a goaltender in Arizona is one of the rather better ones you see in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Also, a great matchup that we saw last night, 2 nights ago for you guys, was Columbus Blue Jackets and Tampa Bay Lightning. That went into 6 overtimes, am I right? I think 5 overtimes. But it felt like 20, to be honest. But last year, Columbus actually swept Tampa Bay. Obviously, they can't sweep them this year, but you never know what you're going to see, honestly, in the playoffs. There's a lot of parity in the NHL. So,
Some very good points there, Matt. Connor, what are your thoughts?
So I definitely don't know as much hockey as you, Mike or Matt, but I do have the same upset as Matt on my bracket with the Islanders winning over the Capitals. I just think, I mean, we're in playoff hockey, and they have it in the bracket format where you think anything can happen, and with no fans being there, there's no momentum switch or anything, and I just think the Islanders could really knock them off. And another upset that I have on my bracket that I kind of just did a spur of the moment thing is I've talked about the Blues on this podcast before, and I do like the Blues after they won Stanley Cup last year, but I think the Canucks could knock them off in the first round. I think that could be one of the best series that we see in this first round of the playoffs. But those are definitely my 2 upsets there. I can't talk as much about it as Matt can, but I think those are 2 upsets that we could see.
All right, some good picks again from you, Connor. Tommy, what you got?
Yeah, well, I'm not a hockey guy either, but you guys made good points. And in the first round, I really don't have any upsets. And Connor, like you said, because there's no like home advantage here because they're in the bubble there. And there's no real home advantage. But so I think when I was making my bracket, I was thinking more like that the better team is going to win. But if I had to pick one, though, I think the Bruins could get upset by the Carolina Hurricanes. So if I had to pick an upset, that would be it. But as of right now, my bracket, I have all the I don't really have any upsets. But
That's all good, Tommy, because I kind of have to agree with you, not in the sense that there will not be any upsets. This is a Stanley Cup playoffs. There are always upsets. But in the sense that I think that Carolina Hurricanes will actually beat the Boston Bruins in 6 games. They actually just finished their game on Wednesday, technically today. It was a double overtime game. Right after the game, the Hurricanes coach just ripped the refs. He just tore them apart. He said, it was a complete robbery what the refs did to the Hurricanes. I'm not exactly sure the play. I never really got a chance to go look over it, but I definitely think the Hurricanes still have a very good chance to win the series in 6 games, and even more so when we're talking about the whole series. Another upset that I actually think will happen is the Calgary Flames or the Dallas Stars. The Flames actually won Game 1 against the Stars 3-2. And I think that will continue, and the Flames will win in 6 games. I think the lack of the offense for Dallas, their stars have not shown up to play so far, while Calgary has really stepped up their game and propelled their overall team play to a new level. So I also think they will beat the Stars in 6 games. And you guys brought up some good upsets with the Islanders over the Capitals. That's going to be a hard-fought series. Right now, the Capitals are currently beating the Islanders 2-1 in their first game. And I also think the Canucks could upset the Blues as well. I actually have the Blues winning in 7 games, but the Canucks have one of the best players in the league in Elias Pettersson. Yeah, he's been an absolute stud for the Canucks, and they definitely have a chance. But anyways, enough with the upsets. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Who do we think will advance to the conference finals in each conference? Matt, let's start with you again.
So do we want the conference finals or Stanley Cup?
Now, let's start with the conference finals first. So we'll go East, West, whatever.
Okay, so for my East, I have the Philadelphia Flyers and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the 1 and 2 seeds in the Eastern. I have Tampa Boston in the second round. I gave Tampa the benefit of the doubt, obviously. Past couple years they've been kind of, if you say, like a choking team, So
like the Yankees.
Yeah, I gave
Don't even get me going, man.
I gave them the benefit of the doubt here. I think that they're a very talented team on paper, so I got them over the Bruins. But I also do think the Bruins are very good. They could get upset at first round, but I think it all depends about their first line combination, Patrice Bergeron, David Pastrnak, and Brad Marchand, and how they play. Obviously, in the round robin, they ended up losing every game, but their first couple lines were playing absolutely awful. But they have good goaltending that could take them further. But like I said, I have Tampa giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I have Philly. I love Philly, and honestly, they're my Stanley Cup champions. I'm just gonna put that out there now. But moving over to the West quickly to sum it up, I have St. Louis. Definitely St. Louis can get upset. Vancouver is very talented, but I gave St. Louis the win there, and then beating Vegas. And I have Colorado with St. Louis, and Colorado beating St. Louis in that final in the conference.
Okay, good to know. Connor, what you got?
Well, mine's going to be much more short-winded than what Matt just said. But my conference finals, I actually have the Bruins making it all the way to the conference finals. I really liked the Bruins. We talked about them really early on when we started filming Go Chat, and looking at all the numbers, I really liked the Bruins. Their numbers in the regular season were great. Then I also have the Flyers over the Islanders in the second round. And then in the West, I have Vegas making it all the way. The Canucks upsetting the Blues, and then them beating the Canucks, and then them playing the Dallas Stars. They're going to beat the Colorado Avalanche and then advance to the conference finals.
So who do you have in the Western Conference Finals? You have Vegas and
Dallas.
Okay, gotcha. All right, Tommy, let us know your picks. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm right there with Connor. So I have Vegas and Dallas in the West. And in the East, like you, Connor, I think that the Bruins, they're going to do well. Although I said that I thought they could get upset, I think they're going to be all right. And I have them playing the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Eastern Conference Final.
All right, Tommy. Well, I think I'm going to have to ramp up the conference finals here, as I actually do agree with Matt in the Eastern Conference. I think it's going to be the Flyers and the Lightning. I think these two teams are just extraordinarily talented. The Flyers are extremely hot right now, and the Lightning, like I kind of mentioned before, they kind of are the Yankees of the NHL. Their roster is absolutely stacked. They just have not been able to get it done in the playoffs, similar to the Yankees. Listen, you can talk about the Yankees all you want. They've been a great team, but the fact of the matter is they have not been able to get it done in the playoffs, just as the Lightning. But I think this is the year for both teams, the Yankees and the Lightning, to finally come on top. I think the Lightning will beat the Flyers in the conference finals and advance to the Stanley Cup final. In the West, I actually have Vegas beating Calgary and then Colorado beating St. Louis, and they will meet in the conference finals. I think Colorado will come out victorious in that one. I think they just have the star power in Nathan McKinnon and Kyle McCarr, and their goaltending is still really solid too. And then, so right now, I have Colorado, Tampa in the finals. So who do you guys got for your Stanley Cup Finals picks? I know, Matt, you kind of already mentioned it before, so why don't you just wrap that up really quickly? Give us a little explanation.
Originally, like a month ago or whatever, I said the Penguins and the Avalanche. Not sure who I thought was going to win, but obviously the Penguins aren't there. They kind of blew that against the Canadians. But I I think I thought the Avalanche were going to win. I thought the Avalanche were going to win for a while until lately. I saw the Flyers. I saw them before the hiatus. They were hot. I saw them after the hiatus in the round robin seeding. They were so hot. I mean, they were beating teams 4-1, 3-1, and 4-1. I think that they're not a team on paper that you look and you see like players that are like, oh man, he's so good. He's so good. Yes, they have Claude Giroux, Jakub Voracek, Kevin Hayes, Sean. How do you pronounce his last name?
Couturier.
Okay. I was sitting there. I was like, what is that? But yes, they don't have those guys, but they honestly, they play so well together. They're coached so well that I think at the end of the day, they're like the Toronto Raptors where you're being coached so well that they could definitely make a run. And I got them winning the Stanley Cup. You heard it here right now. The Flyers are winning the Stanley Cup.
All right, Connor. Who do you think's hoisting the Stanley Cup?
The Boston Bruins. I think they're going to beat Vegas in the Stanley Cup final. It's going to be a crazy ride for the Bruins, and it's going to take a lot of crazy games and a lot of crazy wins to get there. But I think if there's a team to do it in this bracket, it's the Boston Bruins.
Okay. You got the two losers from the last Stanley Cup, from the two last Stanley Cups meeting the finals. Interesting. I like it. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I have the Tampa Bay Lightning. I think they're going to beat the Bruins. I just think they're a better team. And, while I think that's a good pick, I don't know. I just have a feeling it's the Lightning's year.
Who are they beating the finals? I forgot who you said.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vegas.
They're beating Vegas in the finals. All right, well, I got to go with the Lightning too, Tommy. I think this is their year. I think the Lightning are going to take advantage of the situation. They're going to build off this 5 overtime game. They got the momentum rolling now. They're starting to get hot at the right time. I think Philly is going to cool off by the time they face the Lightning. I'm telling you right now, Philly's going to cool off. I just don't think that they are talented enough to beat a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning.
It matters how you play. It matters how you play. They're playing the basketball together. I mean, I don't even think Tampa Bay – I don't even know if they could get out of Columbus. I mean, it took them 5 overtimes to score. Yes.
They won the game.
Okay, but
they stopped Columbus for 4.5 overtime periods too.
Well, so did Columbus. So.
Okay, but who ended up winning that game? Tampa Bay. Anyways, moving on. I just think that Tampa Bay is too talented.
There's no need to brawl here on Goat Chat. No brawling allowed.
It is hockey, so might as well throw a couple.
Yeah, it's legal in this sport. This is a man's sport. Anyways. Anyways, moving on. I just think Tampa, I think what's going to propel Tampa over Colorado in this matchup is their goaltending. Vasilevsky is one of the best goalies in the league. While Philip Grubauer is solid for the Avalanche, I just don't think that he's going to show up and show out like Vasilevsky will.
I don't know, man. We're just going to have to wait and see, I guess. I can't say anything else.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of wraps up our hockey segment. We're going to be back with we'll kind of discuss in short detail our pick'ems from last week, and then we'll give you some new pick'em games. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Go Chat. We just finished the NHL. We talked about the Stanley Cup playoffs, how the Flyers are going to win the whole thing. But we're going to move on to the pick'ems. Go picks. The leaderboard is up right now. I think it's 8-2. Connor is right now the king. 6-4 Mike. 4-6 myself. Tommy, what's going on? You're 3-7?
I don't know what's going on. I think I was more focused on my go of the week than the pick'ems. And, it's obviously showing in the standings, but I don't know. I think I'll bounce back on this one.
All 3 of these guys wanted to go Mavericks. I went rogue.
All right, I think the Mavericks.
I went rogue, and I went Blazers. And Dame Lillard decided to drop 61. He must watch Go Chat and just wants to make me look really good. Because now you can call me the king.
The king of what?
Gosh, I can't wait to roll this clip back when he's sitting in dead last in this segment. I can't wait.
Tommy's spot.
I mean, if I win go of the week this week, Mike will be tied for last. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
Everyone's against me. What can I say?
I'm just saying, but if we look back, obviously Connor already told us one of the picks, but we all got the Suns-Sixers game right. I mean, Sixers didn't have 5 of their pretty much starters, not playing, so all hurt, typical. But and then we had the Angels A's series, 3-game series. Angels are up 2-0 on the series. Game 3 is played right now, but that doesn't even matter. We already took the dubs.
Matt and I both got the dub. Don't go against me. If you guys know anything, you don't go against me in pick'ems.
Well, let's hear it then. I mean, obviously, we're gonna start out with hockey. We told the fans that we'd have hockey this next one, and we're gonna tomorrow. Bruins Hurricanes. We saw Bruins Hurricanes earlier today. 3-4 overtime win for the Bruins and 2 overtimes. Next game 2 is tomorrow, which is today for them, Thursday. Connor, since you're the king, we're gonna start with you.
I've been talking up the Bruins the entire segment. I'm not going to stop now. The Bruins are winning game 2, and they're taking a 2-0 lead in that series.
That's pretty bold, Tommy. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I don't want to pick against Connor. He said don't pick against him. He's got him going all the way in the bracket, so I'm going to go with the Bruins on this one.
Mike, I feel like you're going to go against it.
Of course I'm going to go against him. Listen, Dougie Hamilton is back for the Hurricanes. He just needed a little warmer game in game 1. People are forgetting that. He had 40 points in 44 games until he got hurt, and that's insane as a defenseman. He's probably their best defenseman along with Jakub Slavin. So I think they're going to bounce back in game 2. I'll even call out the score. 5-2 Canes. 5-2 Canes.
It's not like there's extra credit. I'm just saying.
I know, but when it's 5-2 Canes, I can come back and gloat on this show.
Well, I mean, thank you for the score. We really hope. I that'd be interesting. If you get it right, I really give you credit there. But I'm going to have to agree with Connor and Tommy. I'm going to go with the Bruins. The Bruins' first line looked pretty good. They look like they're back on track. Bergeron and Pasternak getting goals themselves. We had Krejci getting a goal. Tucker Rask, yes, he let in 3, but at the end of the day, he in the overtime he played great. So I got to go with that first line of the Bruins to get me the W with Connor. I got to stay with Connor too. I mean, he's making a very big points here.
Well, let's move into baseball now. We have another 3-game series coming up for the weekend. It was an opening weekend series when we opened up the season there. It's the Cubs and the Brewers. Tommy, we'll throw it to you first, our baseball guy.
Yeah, this is easy for me. It's going to be the Cubs. They're 11-3 to start the year. The Brewers are 7-8, which isn't terrible. I mean, they still obviously could make the postseason, with the new playoff format and everything. But, yeah, I got the Cubs for sure. They got Yu Darvish going in the opener of this series. Then they have Kyle Hendricks and then Alec Mills. He's on my fantasy team, so I got to go with him. Actually, I might have dropped him the other day. I don't know if he's still on my team, but yeah, no, I gotta go with the Cubs. I mean, they're playing great. They have a great lineup still. They got Rizzo, they got Bryant, they got Schwarber, they got Baez. Obviously, can't forget about him. So, this is a 4-game set, so I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna say 3-1 Cubs.
Mike?
I gotta agree with Tommy here. Although we picked the A's in our last pick'em, they should have won the series if they didn't blow a 9-4 lead.
But they didn't. They did blow.
I understand.
They should have won the series.
It's always they should have won, but they blew it.
They did blow it. They blew it real good. Anyways, I think the Cubs are gonna win this series. They've been playing really well, to my surprise. I think a big bump for them this season has been their pitching. Yu Darvish has emerged as that superstar pitcher again. That's who the Cubs hoped that they were getting in free agency, and he's really picked it up this season.
Don't say the superstar starter again. Come on. Was he started 3 games?
He's playing really well this season. He has a 2.12 ERA
after 3 games.
I'm just saying that he's playing really well this season. Yu Darvish is back, baby. It's the Darvish show, and you can't stop it. The train's coming through Milwaukee. Cubs winning game 1. They win the series 3-1. Cubs, baby.
You saying that, does that mean that Sonny Gray is back? 100%.
Sonny Gray's back, too. He's on my fantasy team. He's killing it.
Matt had a good year last year, though, so.
Darvish is on my fantasy team in the last 2 games. In the last 2 games that he pitched, he's got 22 and 27 fantasy points. So that's looking like dubs for me. So I got to go with the Cubbies. Just gonna leave it out there. I feel like Tommy talked for me.
I'm
This is
sorry.
going to be a unanimous decision here. I'm also going to go to the Cubs. I think we
He's
saw.
too scared. He's too scared. He's like, oh, I went off the plate for the Trailblazers. Look who won. Now
He's talking all this junk to me about you, Darvish, and he's rolling with me. He's rolling with me. Have the courage of your conviction, Connor. Roll with the Brewers if you don't think you, Darvish, is that superstar pitcher.
I'm not going to roll with the Brewers because Christian Yelich did not play good in their opening weekend, and he's still not playing up to par. The Brewers without Christian Yelich are not a great team. They're not. And he's still not playing great baseball. His second home run of the year was an inside-the-park home run that Eli Jimenez just stabbed at the ball. He's not playing good baseball, and going up an 11-3 Cubs team with a good starting rotation coming up in the weekend, there's no chance that the Brewers win that series.
Man, someone woke up Connor.
The only way I see the Cubs losing this series is if the bullpen blows it. They have one of the worst bullpens in the league. I think it's the worst. To be quite frank, so that's the only way I
stop freaking Craig Kimbrell because he stinks.
Yeah, he does stink.
All right, let's move into our last pick'em of the week. It's not a game. We're just gonna decide who's going to be the 8th seed in the West. We're down. We have one game left in the season. 4 possible teams. We have the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the Suns, and the Trailblazers. Matt, who's making 8?
Dude, it's got to be Dame. I mean, if there isn't someone I'm going to say other than Luka Doncic, he's not in the picture, so I can't say his name. It's got to be Damian Lillard. I mean, I love Luka and Damian. I had a pick between them last week. Went with Luka, didn't really go my way. Should have went my way. You know, a couple fouls that were,
Can we stop saying shoulda? Can we stop? It didn't go your way. Your way.
It was all right. Whatever. It didn't go my way, but I'm okay because Luka's still better than Damian. But gotta go with Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers here. Portland is hot. Damian, 61 points, right? Whatever he did, he thought he was like hot crap after, but gotta go with Damian. Gotta go with Damian and the Trailblazers. Sorry.
Tommy, what's your pick?
This was tough. Initially I was thinking the Suns because they're playing well. They've won 7 in a row. But I think I'm going to agree with Matt. I think I'm
Dame Train!
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Trailblazers because they're playing well, and they have the 8th seed right now, right? So, I think they're going to keep it, and, I'm just going to go with Portland.
Mike?
I got to go with the Blazers as well. The more I think about it, it does worry me a little that CJ McCollum has a fracture in his back. Listen, Damian Lillard is not putting up 61 points every night. Let me tell you that right now. And the Blazers did get a couple breaks against the Mavericks to win that game. But nonetheless, they did win that game, which is why I'm rolling with the Blazers. They just find a way to win. And I think the Suns are extremely hot. But do I think that they're going to make the 9 seed and then beat the Blazers 2 games in a row? If the Blazers lose the first game, Damian Lillard is coming out the next game and dropping 50 on Devin Booker's head. They don't really have anyone to guard him except Ricky Rubio. But, I mean, it's got to be the Blazers. And while I do think the Suns have a chance, and, the Spurs too, but the problem with the Spurs is they need both the Suns and the Grizzlies to lose to move into that 9 spot. And I don't think that's going to happen. I'm rolling with the Blazers.
It's our second unanimous of the week. I'm also going to go with the Blazers. They control their own destiny. You're watching this on Thursday, so the Blazers are playing tonight against the Brooklyn Nets. All they have to do is win, and they're in, and I don't see them losing. I'm sorry,
it's the Nets.
I'm sorry, Tommy. The Nets are your favorite team, and they are a good squad. But they'll be a great squad next year. That'll be tough to beat. I think the Trailblazers will win on Thursday, and they'll get the 8th seed in the West.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that. The Nets aren't going to be, really competitive until they get KD and Kyrie back. So I'd agree with you there.
I mean, they're looking kind of good. But if we look at Dame's last 2 games, 61. He dropped 61 and 51 his last 2 games. I feel like he's going to drop a 50-plus. In the playing game, I think he's going to drop a 50-plus over whoever he's playing.
So
any objections to it?
Whatever happens this week with the pick'ems, even if I'm wrong, I'm still holding first place.
I know.
Well, we couldn't really go. I wouldn't have gone off the grid with any of those games.
That's true.
They're
I'm gonna be within a 1-game reach of Connor, but we'll see what happens.
And after you guys vote Mike Trout go to the week, I'll be king of go to the week as well.
Wait, no, Mike Trout. No, you guys, you got to vote for Luka Doncic. There's no one better than Luka Doncic.
Vote for Dak Prescott. He's making changes in the world.
Oh my God.
What about Nick Castellanos? 5 homers in a week. Well, obviously it means
sitting right
nothing
now-
because Aaron Judge had 6 in a week and he didn't even beat TJ.
Let's go! Luka's one got the lead.
Luka has 6, Nick Castellanos has 5, and Mike Trout has 4.
Hey, Nick
Prescott
Castellanos.
still has 0. I don't want to hear you saying yikes down there.
This could be the second week in a row that Mike has a goose egg.
It doesn't matter because I'm gonna win next week. You guys already know my go of the week. If anyone doesn't vote for me, I don't know what's wrong with you.
All right, well, that's something we could talk about on Sunday because, we all have great goats of the week. I don't know Tommy doesn't even have one, does he? He usually picks guys. If you didn't know, he usually picks an hour beforehand.
I'll decide Sunday. There's sometimes when I come onto the Zoom and I'm like, oh, I got pick a go of the week today, and I'm doing fine though. I'm tied for first, so.
Yeah,
maybe that's it. I think we just gotta wing it, Matt. I think we're slacking.
Yeah, just don't worry about it. Just
we're putting too much thought into it.
Well, I mean, I gave Tommy some of this, but that's fine.
You gave me the first one. That was it. Oh no, you gave me the second one too.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
LeBron. I don't think.
And you won that week?
No, I didn't win.
Oh, okay.
No, but he gave me one of my winners.
Yeah. So we're just gonna have to see who finishes off today's. Guys, if you are looking at this, go vote. Vote whoever you want. You don't have to vote for Luka. You should vote for Luka. Just don't vote for Dak, and then the rest are fine. So whoever wins it will win it, and we'll tell you guys on Sunday. Connor is trying to get you guys to vote for him, but just don't vote for him. And do you guys have anything else to say other than subscribe and follow us on Instagram? No, nothing else to say. Tommy, what are the
socials?
What do the fans have to do, Tommy?
Oh, hit the subscribe button.
No, smash it.
Oh, smash the subscribe button. There we go.
There we go, buddy. All right, we'll see you guys on Monday.
Mike Trout.
He's gonna lose. Luka Doncic.
Ow.